So this is a clip of a great conversation from an episode of Movie Meltdown.
Do you think if you would have lived somewhere else, you still would have ended up doing what you do, or did that help a lot?
Well, I think it's a good question, and I've said this. Growing up in L.A., particularly at the age group I'm in, you kind of knew that you could make. I had neighbors and friends and people I went to school whose parents worked in the film industry. I didn't know anyone who made monsters or even spaceships, but I met a friend of mine in junior high. His dad knew the head of special effects at Disney, and we met him. Danny Lee was his name. He'd done the squid for 20,000 Leagues. So
nice.
You just knew it was a possible job. It's funny because I have friends from all over the country that have moved to LA or that I meet on, traveling around, and they say, yeah, I grew up in Pennsylvania, I grew up in Idaho, I grew up in Kentucky, and they would say, I want to work in movies, and their friends or family would go, well, yeah, it's crazy. That's not a real job, and it isn't a real job, but you know people who do it. So yeah, it was not a crazy pipe dream.
Yeah.
My parents tried to talk me out of it. My grandmother, she told my mom, talk him out of it, just do everything you can to convince him. But I started working at Lucasfilm at 18, and she said, well, if he can pull that hat trick off, then he's got what it takes, because you have to have that sort of monomaniacal drive. And, I didn't date really until when I was working at Lucasfilm. I think I had one girlfriend. And I spent my weekends, other people are dating and having fun, going to the beach. I was making models and monsters. And so, but that's what I wanted to do. Nobody put a gun to my head. My brother was out surfing and dating girls and having a...
What a loser.
Yeah, no, I know.
You were, at that point, in the room with George. You're watching this unfold while he's still, hands-on, kind of doing most of it. At that point, I mean, there obviously were limitations. Whether or not it was physical, you guys piecing it together to make it look good, or was there somebody at the other end going, you can't do that? There must have been, because they were cutting the budget by Jedi. Like, I don't think he had as much money as he did at Empire. So
it was George's money at that point, so I don't know. I mean, George was, he's thrifty.
I feel like the studio wasn't backing him, though, at that point. Like, and they should have been. He made him a fortune,
but George, I think, wanted control. And you control the money, you have the control. I think George, he doesn't like to waste money. I remember, this is a funny story. So, you could find out when you showed up on the set for us, because we were just creature grunts and weren't privy to the script. So in Trek, I knew everything, and that's how I got the punk bit. Was I, read the script, and I had said to Leonard, this punk scene's fun. I would like to play that part, and he said, seriously? I said, yeah. I was in a band, and I know how to look like a punk. I had short orange hair, and I ripped clothes, and I'd gone through a little punk phase, and so I kind of knew what that meant. I mean, I wasn't an angry, disaffected youth, but and he said, well, let me think about it.
To hear more of this and many other conversations about the film and entertainment industry, just go to MovieMeltdown.com for all the episodes featuring a wide array of interesting guests. And for more of this specific conversation, you can also click on the link below.